A very warm welcome to all. Today we are going to discuss about career development and counseling. Career development and counseling is one of the important aspects of human resource management. In this concept, we have to learn first the basic terminology of career planning and development. In the terminology, we are going to learn about what is career, what is career planning, and what is career development. After learning the meaning and definition of career planning, and career development, we will see what is the need for career planning and development, and what are the various stages involved in career development, and what are the steps in career development stages system, and career development actions. This is all about career development, and another part of this topic is counseling. In that, what is counseling, need for counseling, and what are the various functions involved, and at the same time types of counseling and process of counseling. Along with that, we are going to discuss counseling errors, that means problems or limitations, along with that benefits also, how to overcome errors of counseling. In terms of Keith Davis, he defines a career is all the jobs that are held during one's working life. That means right from entering into the job, whatever we are doing the jobs, that are all comes together called as career. And in the words of Edwin B. Flippo, he defined a career is a sequence of separate but related work activities. A sequence of separate but related work activities that provide continuity, order, and meaning in a personal life. For example, a student who completed his post graduation and wants to enter into a job, he is having come across with n number of stages, right? First one is 10th class, is the one step, intermediate, after intermediate graduation, later on post graduation. And next he is move on to the job. That means to achieve this particular job, he come across with various sort of aspects. These are all aspects are in a sequence, and each and every class was a separate. 10th was a separate, intermediate was a separate, graduation was separate, and post graduation. How it is separate in the sense, in 10th class up to basic school knowledge he is going to gain. Later on in intermediate, he can move on to MPC, BPC, HEC or CEC, different kind of courses. And graduation again depends upon his areas of interest. He can select a BBA, BSc, BCom or BA, different kind of course. Likewise in post graduation, he will go with link with the graduation. Like that, it is a separate, but each and everything will be having a link ultimately to get the job. That is why the words of Edwin B. Flippo, career means a sequence of separate but related work activities that provides connectivity, order, and meaning in personal life. Before seeing career planning, what is a plan? A planning means a predetermined course of action for the future. That means whatever we are going to perform in a future course of time, that we are going to plan in advance. Here career plan means a systematic process by which one select career goals and path to reach that particular goals. See here, career goals and path. These path may differ from one job to the another job. Here there are four examples were here. Unskilled to foreman. Second one is a junior clerk to a secretary. Third one is supervisor to a chief manager of a company, and a lecturer to a vice chancellor to the organization. That means here each and every individual will be having a certain predetermined goals, and to achieve that particular goals he should follow some path. This is what, for example, if you take a supervisor, he wants to grow in his career, he should come across with the steps like assistant manager, deputy manager, manager, and finally he can achieve the chief manager position. That is the reason why career plans means a systematic process by which one selects career goals and especially the path to achieve the particular goals. Next is career development. Development means the personal improvements. The personal improvements one undertake to achieve his personal career plan. Definitely, if you want to reach from one position to the other position, it is not that much easy. We have to improve our knowledge, skills, along with that behavioral aspects, and problem solving, judgment skills. These are all important. Here, each and every one will enhance these kind of skills. Then only they will develop in their career. Career development means those personal improvements one undertakes to achieve, to reach his career plan. Need for career planning and development. See, ultimately, why we have a career planning and development in the organizations means the organization wants to maintain and as well as retain the people who possess good knowledge and skills. That is what here. To attract competent persons. To attract competent persons. Because when we want to attract, automatically the organization has to give some career development for the individual. Then only those who are having abilities, they will apply in our job in the organization, and at the same time we have to retain the individuals. See, some people who are having good knowledge and all, they won't wait for the opportunity. They will leave the organization and search for a new opportunities. Those kind of talent people, the organization don't want to lose. That is why one of the need of career planning and development is to attract the competent persons, at the same time retain the existing manpower, and second one is to provide suitable promotional opportunities to the existing manpower. And existing manpower, if you want to provide opportunities for promotion and all, that kind of activity is called as a succession planning. We need not always go and search for talent outside. We assess the people who are in the organization, and we are going to in turn promote the individuals. Next is meet the future challenges. In future course of time, because today's fast developing economy and fast developing industries, the skills the employees wants to update daily or day-to-day basis, because the technology, today's technology was tomorrow outdated. That is the reason why to meet the future challenges, career planning and development. That means by giving training programs and all, they can improve the performance of individual. Next is to increase the utilization of managerial reserves within the organization. One organization will be having a number of branches. They use it to move the employees from one place to the another place when they are conducting performance appraisal and when there is a lack of manpower, they can use this manager level people and they can mobilize to the other places, and they can have a proper usage of this managerial resource. Next thing is to correct employment placement. Once we selected the candidates, during that particular interview process, sometimes the position does not fit for the employee, because at the time one or the other senior employees will be there or occupied in the particular position. We will give one or the other job in the company. Later, when the chance of retirement or termination of the particular individual, these individuals who are not placed well, they are going to give a right placement. That kind of corrective measures also we can take with the help of career planning and development. Next, to reduce the employee dissatisfaction. Why employees are dissatisfied? Because those employees who are having deserved qualities and all, sometimes they won't get proper appraisal and all. To overcome that problem, when we have assessed the people, definitely their dissatisfaction we can reduce by giving a higher salary or at the same time positions, and we will reduce the turnover. Here turnover means movement of employee from one company to the another company. That turnover we can reduce. And the last one is to improve motivation and the confidence levels of the individual. Morale is going to boost. This is about need for career planning and development. Next, we will see the very important aspect of career development is the stages of career development. In the stages of career development, it was categorized into 5 different stages. And those 5 stages, the first one is establishment stage. First one is exploration stage. Second one is establishment. Third one is mid career. Fourth, late career, and last one is a decline. And how these stages were categorized, in the sense they have taken 2 factors into consideration. One is age factor, and the second one is performance. And this performance also low to high. In the first stage of career development, first one is exploration stage. Exploration means here between the age of 0 to 25, the individuals are coming out of the college and they are going to join in a new job. That is what they are doing in this exploration stage. That means they are transforming them from college to a job. Transforming from college to corporate. And the next stage, this is the stage where the individuals are going to accept initial job opportunity and they build their career. That is why it is called as a establishment phase. And the third one is mid career. This is very, very crucial for each and every individual in their career development, because this is near about 20 years of span. In this 20 years, whatever you have performed, that only is going to carry for your remaining rest of your job career. That is why mid career is very, very crucial. And sometimes in establishment stage, you are freely can do whatever you want, and whatever the mistakes also you are performed are accepted in the establishment. Because in this stage, if you done any kind of mistakes, it will be a least negligible, because you are at a learning stage. Once you enter into the mid career stage, if you have done any kind of mistakes, that will create a big impression on your career. That is the reason why here in the mid career, maximum you have to avoid the mistakes and you are going to be a role model for your subordinates and to perform work from the subordinates. Later on, the fourth stage is late career. This late career is depends on those individuals who performed well in the mid career, that only they carry. That means here there may be probable chances are there whether you have to maintain the consistent levels of performance later in the late career stage, or else some individuals they are keep on performing high growth, and there may be other chances also there to decrease the performance. These are the three different aspects that happened in a late career, and the last one is a decline stage where there is a probable chance of retirement. But even now, in a corporates or any other NBFCs, non-banking financial corporations, nowadays they are asking even the retired people also, because they know how to tackle the problems and all. Even after retirement also, the career we can still continue. These are the five different stages of career development. Next, the steps in career development system. See, in organization point of view, they have to first identify the need. It will be applicable for both organization as well as individual. They have to define the present system. That means organization, what present system they are following or not. When we are talking about the individual, what sort of need the individual are required. Based on that, they have to have proper plan. That means in which direction and what are the various sort of possibilities are there to develop in the career, and after identifying proper directions and possibilities, they have to put them into a action. This action deciding the initial steps for his career growth, practical. Next, last one is, and after identifying whatever the development actions and all, if you are getting any kind of problem and all, that we are going to be a rectify or managing the result. Sometimes the people who are performing well or concentrating well, they will get a good career enhancement. Even after some people, those who are performing well also, there may be a chances that they are not able to reach, or they will sometimes they will maintain, and those people, some people they are not in a position to maintain. Why it is so? Because there are many individuals are responsible for development of a individual career. Those are here, the organization is responsible for your career development, and you yourself are the responsible, and at the same time your supervisor or immediate boss is responsible for your development. How organization is responsible for your development? In organization, when you are performing well, and if you are stuck with one or the other problem and all, it is the responsibility of the organization to provide some kind of training programs. By providing training programs where you are lagging, you can overcome and you can perform work very smoothly. And the second thing is job rotation. Job rotation means movement of employee from one job to the another job. Why this movement is followed in organizations? Because if I want to develop in your career, it is not good enough to have the knowledge on one particular aspect. That is the reason why the employee has to know about what all other jobs knowledge, that is very, very important. And next thing is job enlargement. Job enlargement means adding additional duties or tasks or responsibilities to the same existed position. That is called job enlargement, to know various work knowledge. And the next thing is special assignments. Special assignment means in government organization institutions, the individuals are going to send for special assignment purpose. For example, if you take in a defense or in police department, they will given special assignments and they have to task. And even in corporate office also, if any kind of problem will be there in a product, experts will be there in the company, and they will be given those assignment, and after completion of the assignment, again they are working in the same platform. That is called those special assignments. That means how far he is going to increase the sales of the company. Next is deputation to the other department, and of course this deputation will be not possible in private companies, but in public sector they are well used this deputation. That means moving from one department to the another department. For example, in a government sector, if you say this IAS officers, these IAS officers, they are even using, when you are seeing in the paper and all, Annavaram or Srikalahasti or even Tirumala Devasthanam, these IAS officers are, they are went on deputation for executive officers. Only for the time being, later on they will go for administrative services. And even these IAS officers, even some of the universities, the IAS officers, they are making those people as a in charge vice chancellors. Likewise, deputation to other department also one of the factor for career development which is taken by the organization. Next, how our supervisor is responsible for our career development. Here, the supervisor is going to involve us in a different kind of tasks. When he is involving, then only we will also get motivated and we can work very efficiently. Next, he used to delegate some authority and responsibility. Once we are assigned or delegated any authority and responsibility, definitely we will feel very proud and we can do work so that we can perform well. And the last one is counseling and coaching. In this counseling and coaching, if we come across as a subordinate any problem, the supervisor is going to counsel, to motivate how best we can perform. And if you are not in a position to do anything, he will coach and guide to do the particular work. That is the responsibility of our immediate boss. Then, as an individual, what's our responsibility? As an individual, we have to always upgrade our knowledge. And at the same time, each and every time, we have to improve the skill. This skill building means the team management and how we are maintaining our interpersonal skills. That is all very, very important to get promotions in the organization. And the last one is, what is the attitude? See, some people, they will, for small things, they will be having a negative opinion on their bosses, and some people will be having a positive opinion. This all depends upon situation to the situation. That is why always, if you want to develop even a negative also, we can take into the positive and we can have a right attitude. These are the various sort of development actions which are helpful for career development of an individual. In terms of Keith Davis, he defines counseling as having discussions of an emotional problem of an employee with a clear-cut objective of decreasing it. That means if an employee is having any kind of emotional problem, that should be discussed, and this emotional problem has to reduce by the supervisor. That is what the meaning of this definition. Employee counseling involves discussion of emotional problems with an employee with the general objective of decreasing it. How these emotional problems will rise? These emotional problems will rise one or the other aspects, like he is not having a proper gap or proper rest. That is why the emotions also increases. And as a senior or as a supervisor, he has to take some kind of remedial actions to decrease the particular problem. Now we will see what are the various sort of aspects where the individuals are come across with emotions and all. This is what various sort of situations are need for counseling in the organization on various aspects. When an employee violates organization standards, that means organization standards or policies or procedures. When the employees are violating, then there is a need for counseling. Second thing is when an employee is continuously late or absent to the organization. Next, the productivity. The productivity is keep on going down, then there is a requirement. Next, the employee behaves such a way that productivity of others is negatively affected. Some people in the organization, they are wantedly making other people to negative mode or negative, always these people are having a negative thoughts and all, and the same they are going to pass to the other people who are working well also. That is the reason why these situations counseling is required. Next thing is when two employees have a conflict and that become a public, it is going to affect on the work. That is the reason why when any sort of disputes are there, that has to be solved on a privately. We cannot solve these problems on publicly. Even counseling also done in private. Next, when you want to compliment an individual, see why compliment also considered as one of the need for counseling, because when the employees are performing well and we are complimented on behalf of all, sometimes it will be having a negative impact on other people who are performing not well. That is why complimenting individuals also very crucial when all other employees are not performing in the company. Next, when you want to delegate new tasks, sometimes people are not ready to take a higher responsibilities. At that time, if you counseled well to your subordinate, definitely you will be getting some kind of self-confidence and he is able to take a initiative to do the particular work. These are the various sort of situations where we call employee for counseling. Next, we will see what are the various functions of counseling. Here, the first function is advice. See, advices are good, but when people want, then only we have to give advices. Free suggestions and advices doesn't work well. Because if you give a free suggestions and all, they won't take that much of importance. That is why whenever any kind of requirement is there, then only we have to give advices to the others. Next, reassurance. Reassurance in the sense building confidence levels. Confidence levels to the individuals. And next, good communication. Because some higher authorities or supervisors, they are good at work, performing and everything and all. But whatever they want to communicate, that they are not in a position to communicate well. That is why communication is also important function of counseling. Next, release of emotional tension. The major function is whenever we are having a frustration and all, that frustration we have to reduce. Next, clarified thinking. Avoiding this mental blocks. How we can avoid mental blocks in the sense, as a supervisor, you have to understand the mental condition of a subordinate, and after knowing or extracting thorough information why he is unable to perform well, and he can remove the mental blocks. Next, reorientation. Action of changing the focus. Just now we are seeing that what are the various situations that employees are need to be counseled. One of the situation is action of changing the focus. Sometimes those employees who are performing well, they are criticize others who are not perform. At that time, we have to change the orientation of individuals by counseling. These are the six different functions of counseling. Types of counseling. Counseling is categorized into three different types. One is directive, non-directive, and participative. Directive counseling. Here in this directive counseling, the chances are there that supervisor is always given instructions to the subordinate, and if continuously the supervisor is giving instructions to the subordinate, there may be a chances of high direction. That means the chances of supervisor only is given to in a counseling, more and more he used to probe and he can give the suggestions. Second, non-directive counseling. Here, low direction, the opposite of directive counseling. Here, the individual will be assessed by himself where he is doing mistakes, and we have to freely open to assess himself. That is called introspection. By doing introspection, because some experienced employees, if we identify the problem and they themselves they can introspect and they can reduce the problem. That is why here direction will be very low by the supervisor. And the moderate type of counseling is participative counseling. Here both supervisor and subordinate sit together and they can discuss. Both are listening one or the other problems and they can find out the solution to overcome the problem. This is how the types of counseling has discussed. Counseling process. Counseling process is a four-step process. First we have to identify the need of counseling, and after identifying the need we have to prepare for counseling. Then after preparing we have to conduct. Last we have to follow up. First, need. The need may be one or the other as we have seen different situations. And after identifying the need, we have to prepare who is going to counsel and when he is going to counsel, where he is going to counsel, and how he is going to counsel. These are very, very important aspects when preparing for counseling. And after identifying who, in the sense, the supervisor or the counselor, when, the time, where, the place, and how, the method or technique that what he is using to counsel the subordinate. Next, conducting. In this session, we have to draft how we are going to be conducting the things. It means what kind of technique we are going to be used. And after conducting this counseling session, we have to follow up whether the results are achieved or not. That is why this is a simple four-step process of counseling. First we have to identify need, and after identifying the need we have to prepare, next conduct, and follow on. And next thing is how, before going to see the problems or drawbacks or benefits of counseling, here the live example which was happened in the year 2012, a small incident which was happened in Maruti Suzuki, we will see here. During the year 2012, July 18, the labor violence at the manufacturing plant had seen nearly 100 people injured, and one senior human resource manager was died in the incident because of background fire that what was happened in the particular Maruti Suzuki, and following instant the company decided to lock out in the view of safety and welfare of the employees. See, this is what the incident which was happened in a Maruti Suzuki, and later on, after this incident, many of the workers, they are not in a position to come and work in a organization because of the incident, or killed by one of the senior human resource manager. Then what the Maruti Suzuki was done here is sense they are appointed a psychologist and at the same time psychiatrists to overcome this psychological disturbance among the employees, and after counseling with the help of this psychologist and psychiatrist, the employees are ready to work in a company. That is how counseling is very very important for the organization for its development of productivity. Now the counseling errors, the problems or errors where we went wrong while we are counseling. Here dominating. In a counseling we have to sit together and discuss. But some people are supervisor because of their bossism or status consciousness, they will dominate in the sessions, so that because of that domination, the subordinate, whatever he wants to express, he is unable to express freely. Second thing is giving unnecessary and inappropriate advice. Whatever the advices they are giving, that is not related to the problem that what they are facing with. Next thing is some people, that means supervisors, they are paying a deaf ear. Deaf ear means they are not listening what others are saying. Next thing is projecting personal likes, dislikes, and even the bias. Bias means personal prejudice, the likes and dislikes, which makes the counseling problem. Next, rash judgments. Within a fraction of seconds or minutes, they use it to judge whether the employee is suitable or not. There are also errors in counseling, and loss of emotional control. Sometimes it may happens for higher level people because they will be having a work pressure and all, so that it is indirectly affect on counseling also. Next, absence of action plan. Just before we are discussed about process of counseling, where we should know where we have to done and what on what basis we are going to be a counsel and which sort of technique. If we are not having proper action plan, and this counseling may be a went wrong and improper follow up. After counseling, we have to get the response whether they have improved or not. Once if they are improved, it's well and good. If they are not improved, again we have to undergo for one or the other session for counseling, and using a single counseling style. There are various sort of styles are there, like just now we are seeing the types non-directive, directive, and participative. Depends upon the situation. Among these three, any one of the style we can follow. And next, last one is neglecting the privacy factor, because whenever any employee is facing the problem, he cannot able to disclose in front of the public. That is the reason why we have to give some space or time to listen his problems. These are the various counseling problems which occur in a organization, and how to overcome or even the benefits of counseling. It decreases the cost related to the turnover as well as absenteeism. Turnover means the employees will not go out, and the number of people who are leaving the company will decrease, and automatically our productivity increases. At the same time, absenteeism. If absenteeism will be more, automatically which affect on production. That is why the benefit is to reduce turnover and at the same time absenteeism. Second thing is improvement in employee performance automatically. Once we counsel the employee, he can improve or develop his productivity. Helps the supervisor in decision making. Like this counseling helps the supervisor which individual we have to give additional responsibilities, additional tasks, or in a future course of time promotions also. Next, assist in understanding the situation more objectively. It's very very important. As per the situations we can identify or understand the situations is also important and facilitates to look at the situations with new perspective. Because all the time we cannot see the problem in a same or single point of view. We have to assess the problem in a different angles also. And the last one is it motivates to search for alternative solutions for the problem. See, in organization, the techniques called brainstorming or WPM, workers' participation in management, helps to come across with one problem, many number of solutions. In this many number of solution, we can identify a single solution to overcome our problem. That is why these are the various sort of benefits of counseling. For this, we came to an end of today's presentation. And once again, I will repeat what we have discussed in this. The terminology involved in career planning and development, at the same time, process, stages, and what is counseling, and various development actions taken in the organization, types of counseling, functions, and the process of counseling. Along with that, the errors involved in counseling and the benefits. And finally, I will conclude with a quotation which was given by Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict future is to create it. We are responsible to create our future. Thank you.